Hello guys, what's going on? My name is LaserSpider111, and welcome back to another episode of Doki Literature Club. Now, I'm not entirely sure what version this is. I never technically actually ended the series, but I know I did technically end it. But this is the new Plus version. There was a Christmas sale, so I bought it on Steam because it was a lot cheaper than originally. And yeah, I want to see what this is all about. So essentially, let me actually look up on my YouTube channel. Now, in the last episode, I think we did a bunch of modded stuff, and this is, I don't know, this is the first time I'm opening the Plus version, literally. It's just, I've got 0 hours on this game logged so far. I just bought it, downloaded it, and put it up here. So let me see, my playlist. Yeah, this is right here. So my last one was episode 11. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just heard it. My last one was the series finale, so I'm either gonna add on to that playlist originally, or I'm just gonna make a new series. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So this is the Plus version, like I said beforehand. Essentially, it's supposed to have a lot more content than the free version, which I played originally. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Please enter my name. Yes, Connor. My last one was Gent or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but I'm putting my real name in there now. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me in the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Originally, yeah, like I told you, I wanted to start a new series. I haven't played this game in forever, so I'm not gonna remember this series at all, or like the story. So maybe some of this stuff is repeat. I don't know. This is a second playthrough, but yeah. The girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori chase up to me. Ha ha! I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Connor. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Connor, have you decided on joining a club yet? A club? I told you already I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Huh? That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I was worried that you don't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Alright. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I just saw you were sitting in here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, if you're even worse than me sometimes, I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori, yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori's vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! Hold on, let me adjust this here. Right. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ha, Connor, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can't just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy, and this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Connor. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Connor. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I get a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged from to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there are one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts a foil tray on to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori walks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking for me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you, dummy. All right. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before sitting down the teacup next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. It makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it, everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Need my Diet Pepsi for this recording session. Monica must have really worked hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Connor, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read over these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her lights up and that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Damn, sorry about that. I just dropped the fuck out of my phone. Ugh, alright. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to on the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I started one of my videos. Come on, bro. Yeah. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you? Oh, stop it. Damn it. I keep starting videos on my phone. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting? It looked like you were working on a poem called, "Don't say it out loud! And give me that back!" Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Connor? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori might have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lost my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Connor, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend a day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came by for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think that with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we all can share. Monica looks over me once again. Connor, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah, I can really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls start to continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Connor, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the 2 of us depart to the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Alrighty then. Sounds good to me. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. All right, well, I actually don't want to repeat of my first playthrough. This is the way that you decide what path you want to go down. So I'm going to go ahead and rewatch my previous, and I'm just going to go for a different path this time. All right, so it looks like the first time I wrote it, maybe on purpose, maybe by accident, I did the Natsuki route. So I'm going to do Yuri this time. So I got to choose words that I think are smart. But it might be hard for a person like me to figure this out. So let me see here. Philosophy, yeah, that's a given. Bliss, captive, yeah, that's probably it. Heaven sent, yeah. Tragedy, yes. Oh no, that's more Sayori, I guess. Whirlwind, infallible. Disoriented existence, uncanny whisper, infinite existence. Existent? No, that's probably uncanny. Yeah, that would be more. Tenacious, disarray. Yes. Okay. Eternity. All right. This is simple. This is more simple than I thought. Vertigo. You ever watch that movie Vertigo? It's pretty interesting. Incongruent, effulgent. What the hell does effulgent even mean? I don't know. Fickle. I know what fickle is. That's that word that the British people use, like fickle. Yeah, agonizing. Vitality. Yeah, okay. Determination. Adventure. Unstable. Yeah, incapable. After image. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, whatever. It should all be average out to Yuri anyway. All right. Ah, shit. Hold on. Damn. Hi again, Connor. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Connor. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not very accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you clearly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ma. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Is that how you pronounce? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Connor always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He always helped me with the busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Connor can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she's just put me into. Oh, you even brought something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Well, I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so a nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll still make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, listen here. Yes, Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. What the hell is that supposed to mean? And we could, discuss it if you wanted. All right, I get what you're talking about. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel kind of bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she knows me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me as our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing make her become comfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focused and I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I might just rereading a bit of this book, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? By 1080p 60 it is, yeah. Lately it's been defaulting to 720 for some reason. It's been looking crappy. Crappy quality. It's not that bad for like Persona 3, but anything like this where detail is like... They tried so hard to refine this game. I mean, just like make it look amazing. So I wouldn't want to like... I wouldn't want to do anything bad with it. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What is it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front color. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give everything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life is really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Connor? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just those kind of stories. They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own life goals, their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. Yeah, I know. So that's actually pretty interesting. I've done a few things about that myself. The idea that the person that you've seen the most of, you tend to go along with them. So if you see, like, Breaking Bad, for example, the person that, like, Walter White, you know, we know about his story. He's cooking meth, though. That's very illegal. Like, pretty much like it's unanimously, oh, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Like, to everyone, pretty much, to mostly everyone, meth is a bad thing. It causes people to ruin their lives. It does all sorts of stuff. But still, we root for Walter White because we know him. We've been with him the entire story. So that's kind of like what it is. Like right here, and this protagonist, as it is very one-sided. You know, it's a point of view. It's a perspective, you know. And towards the end of it, you can see that the villain, or the antagonist, I guess, was really the right person. Antagonist is really anyone who's going against the main character at all. It doesn't necessarily prove that they're good or bad in any way. That's what I wanted to say. All right. Don't listen to me. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, is it fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I want to get some thumbnail shots here, so let me void that out. There you go. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. That's another one. I could use that too. Possibly. Yeah, sorry. It's just that's something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. What? Sorry. Oh, okay. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here! Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I did already use this image, but I might as well grab it instead. I already used this image for a thumbnail. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, yeah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and then our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, and she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses a lot of the things she says and does, like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Connor, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I sort of meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales for a second, finishing her thought. You know, she's so fucking creepy now. You like I know that the first time I played played through it, like this just the way that she stares directly at you is just fucking unnerving. After you know what she does in the story, but I'm not gonna spoil it in case you guys haven't seen the first part. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that all right, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. All right, so yeah, the first part changes depending on who you write the poem for. I see. I went the Sayori path first time, which is why you guys saw the Sayori first thing. So this Yuri, it might be completely new. I don't know, but it probably won't be because I kind of played through all of them, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll try and go the Yuri path this time, and then yeah, why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% like. It's just a series, you know. This game has been around long enough that I think most people know the story already, so. Well, I guess this version of the game's only been out since, July, but, yeah. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess. I don't have much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. All right. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? No, I definitely didn't. Yeah, my relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've really never done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to start with? Why you gotta stare at me like that, Monica, for fuck's sake? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet and loose-leaf torn paper from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. All right. Who should I show my poem to first? I can't. I guess I'll do Natsuki. Get the worst out of the way first, because I know she's not gonna like it. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Connor, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. Yeah, that's why I wanted to show it to you first. I wanted to get the worst out of the way, because I knew you were going to hate it. What? Harsh. What, do you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? You think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. I mean, I can climb, I can race. What do you mean I can try? I can't fly. I guess I could run too, but not as fast as a cheetah. I can't seek to save my life. I can't find anything. I'm terrible at puzzles. That's why I've been bad in Watch Dogs, because I don't know what puzzles it. Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Oh, son of a bitch, what was that? Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then it made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess it went more than to it than realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who can I show that poem to next? Let's just go from the top. I don't care. Sayori, what's up? This is a good poem, Connor. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't take it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean that I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Connor. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying out new things like this for people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. All right, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay, now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. But if it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Yo, that took like 4 separate turns, bro. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget, and I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. All right, then. I'm going to go Monica. We'll go Yuri last, because I know that's going to be the best one there. Hi, Connor. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Connor. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Connor. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. Easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it only counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's all sort of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are to derive their own meaning from it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it by just feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. And that's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find this kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. And it's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I'm real blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he on the other side was looking in. Wow. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been really putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some sort of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy up later. You know, that's an interesting... That's actually pretty good advice. Not just for poems, but for anything, really. Like, there's a story by Anne Lamott. It's called Shitty First Drafts. It was written in the 90s, but it was posted in some obscure journal. I can't remember what it was called. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description. But basically, it talks about how you kind of like let your inner child speak for you, sort of like in your writings. So if you go like say and just if you try and like tidy it up while you're writing, you're not gonna do anything. Just write a shitty first draft, as they call it, and then you have to go back and change some things, edit some things out. And if you let your inner child, you know, just like he's a doo-doo head or something like that, if you you might actually find yourself saying things that you would never actually come up with normally. It's very interesting, and I've tried it on a few essays too, so it doesn't just work for poems. It's pretty cool. You guys should read it if you're interested in that and stuff like that. Hold on, let me drink here. A lot of reading here. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Not a problem. Who should I show my poem to first? And that's Yuri. Last person, huh? As Yuri reads the poem, I noticed her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her month, but ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphor indicates you have written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is how they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering's completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not that finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gets you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to self, me, or Natsuki. Do you mind that if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if there's a rare opportunity for her, which in itself was kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Now, I'm surprised that she, fell into it that much. You know, she was kind of apprehensive about it yesterday, but it just seems to have gotten better now. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green light of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. Damn, okay. That's a little... I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Imagine you've ever seen mine. But it took you so long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Man, what are all these easier to digest things around me? Come on, is there something you're trying not to tell me here? All right, I was an AP student in high school. I'm in college, all right? I know I can get this stuff. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Connor. Really? I must have totally missed the point. That's Godot, sort of, yeah. Well, I suppose you only did glance over it after all. But remember, the posts often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too, so... Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Connor. Me too. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is the literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with her one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How could it be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would ask someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Connor did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Connor liked my poem, too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, come on, quit fighting and bringing me into it, all right? I ain't in this conversation at all. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Connor appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Bro, that's... and how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No, if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Connor started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me, as if they noticed I was standing there. Connor, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Connor. Wait, that isn't a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most efficiently. Avoiding them is not necessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that too, Connor, right? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... I don't know. You think help me, Sayori. Natsuki! Natsuki glares at me, trying to end up in my words in my mouth. Instead, I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Yeah? Everyone's fighting, making Sayori's uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Connor? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your own immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everything to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute. There's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same size as they always were. Big and beautiful. For fuck's sake. I don't remember this dialogue ever. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Oh, that's one way. Just talk about your tits and he'll go away. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori's vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that means Sayori's amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes she's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. Don't do that now. That makes two of us. You could count on me. She knows what the hell. She still knows this is a game, by the way. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get a chance to talk to her a little more. I don't want to. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It's all right, well, mostly. Connor, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was really neat to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a lot more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job at impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Connor, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're all both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I could see why they make good friends with you. Phew! You know, Connor, it's nice that I could spend so much time with you in the club. But I think you get along with everyone else is what makes me the happiness. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sarah really hasn't caught on to the situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori's internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. That's a great idea. A straight save out. Let me save my game here. What? I don't remember saving. Oh, this autosave. Okay. I guess it autosaves from in there. Alright, guys. Well, that's going to have to be it for today. My name is LaserFighter111. If you guys want to see more of this Doki Doki Literature Club Plus now, be sure to leave a like. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe this video for more awesome content, and I will see you guys later.